At the tender age of 14, when children are still struggling with their thoughts, textbooks, and other things, a boy from India decides to pick up his pen and author a book. Yes, a book, and that too on investment. He's Aryaman Dalmia, a class 9 student from New Delhi, India, a city where he was born and brought up into a business family.
Initially, I didn't actually intend to write a book. I was just putting all the knowledge I had acquired from reading various books on a piece of paper, so it was more of a research work. But as time passed, it was more of a book and I decided to publish it. I also got a chance to meet many people and interact with them. Few of them were Ashish Dhawan, Madhav Dhar, my uncle Chaitanya Dalmia and Sanjay Bakshi.
Aryaman has been a different child because since the age of 10 or 11, when he was in grade 5, I remember him coming into the library to do some research work, and when I questioned him on it, he said he wanted to write a book. So obviously this thought of writing a book has been in his mind from that age, but writing a book on finance was something that I couldn't imagine him doing, and I'm so hugely proud of him that he has done it and written an excellent book.
Even the most knowledgeable economists find it tough to touch upon Benjamin Graham, Warren Buffett and their success story. Aryaman observes what you should learn from these two most successful people of this world.
The most important lessons that I have learned from the lives of Graham and Buffett are objectivity, simplicity and drive. All decisions should be fact-based and you should not be hijacked by the complexity of the world. And with dedication and determination, everything can be accomplished.
I think Aryaman has written a fantastic book. He's touched upon the key lessons of these two great investment brains, and the way he has brought out the key lessons that their lives and their principles teach is very effective and very illuminating. He came to our institute and he spoke to our students, and I think the lecture was very well appreciated by all our students. They are MBA students, and come to think of it, he's just a 13-year kid. So he was very effective. He spoke very fluently, especially on the key learnings like being greedy when others are fearful and being fearful when others are greedy. I think he was fantastic.
The book Graham, Buffett and Me is published by Times Group Books from the Times of India.
We went in for the Aryaman's book because when we saw the manuscript, we realized that the author was very young. He had a clear understanding of the subject, and the way the book had been written was in a very lucid manner. And keeping all that in view, we thought that this book will probably do very well, especially for the general public, the people who never or who find it difficult to understand the financial terms and terminology. And Aryaman, we thought, would be able to explain this, since he had deeply studied both Benjamin Graham and Warren Buffett, and he was able to bring about the nuances of both these great financial experts in his book.
Aryaman has dealt with issues like why understand yourself before you understand the markets, and also throws a light on what characteristics to look for in a good investment.
Benjamin Graham and Warren Buffett would tell you that an investor's temperament is much more important than market conditions. Over a long period of time of investing, investors experience many sorts of market conditions, just like the way a cricketer faces many balls in one cricket match. With the right temperament, an investor should know when to be aggressive and when to be conservative. Benjamin Graham and Warren Buffett's method of picking stocks is very simple and disciplined. Most investors do not follow this properly and use a much more complex strategy.
Well, in the book that Aryaman has written, I think one of the important points he's made is to understand yourself before you make an investment. And I think that's a very fundamental point, because each person may have a different risk appetite for investment. And therefore, it's important to understand yourself as to what is your appetite for risk and how you want to make an investment. That will determine the kind of investment you make. The second thing I think is that the key point which is coming out, which Warren Buffett has been saying, is that you look at fundamentals. before making an investment. So you're looking at issues of return on capital, the quality of management, and other factors which are relevant. So those are the issues which become important while making an investment, and I think this point has been captured well in the book.
In this book, he also talks about how you treat an investment after you've made one. He puts a bold question as to how can you profit from inefficiencies in the stock market.
Graham and Buffett believe that investments should be made with a long-term perspective and not with the flavor of the day.
It's a very readable book, and it has great insights into various aspects of investment. He has indicated how important it is to pick companies based on intrinsic value. And this is what he has brought out by case studies not only of the great persons like Warren Buffett, etc., but also of various Indian entrepreneurs, including his uncle and various other persons who are well known in the Indian market. It's a very readable book also.
The author has keenly observed how do the smartest Indian investors adapt their methods.
Graham and Buffett also believe that the market goes through extreme mood swings. Therefore, they are greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy.
The book Graham, Buffett and Me has drawn rave reviews by Fortune magazine, Times of India, Business Standard, Business Today, etc. The book has also been translated and well received in Japan. His mother Sharmila and father Gaurav Dalmia, both successful business persons, continue to motivate and guide him. His sisters Devanshi and Anya are his best critics. Aryaman and family have a zest for life and really enjoy their moments together. Is it all business on this young man's mind? No. Aryaman loves to play his guitar, loves cycling on the streets of New Delhi, and playing cricket remains to be his favorite sport. The book Graham, Buffett and Me is slowly but steadily taking the bookstores and is also a ready reference in many renowned institutional libraries. Well, this is a very humble beginning from this young man, but one thing is for sure, Aryaman Dalmia as an investor has arrived.